Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to participate in NRI Press Club's Hot Topic weekly program. Our today's hot topic is present by our host Amrik Singh Sidhu ji. Amrik Singh Sidhu ji, go ahead please.
Hello and welcome everyone. Sat Sri Akal, Namaste and Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. It's an honor and pleasure to be hosting a debate by a wonderful panel of distinguished scholars and well-informed community leaders. Today's topic is about coming together of two communities torn apart by an immensely complicated conflict for far too long. For the first time after almost 40 years, Indian community, especially the Sikh community and Hindu community, is coming together. And for that, firstly, I think it's due to the Kisan movement in India, where Sikhs and Hindu farmers have joined hands for a common cause. I salute Balbir Singh, Rajewal, and Rakesh Taket for their entire team for their brilliant leadership and strategy. Secondly, by the unparalleled services provided by the Sikh community to the COVID-19 pandemic-stricken victims in India. I have noticed that so many Hindus are acknowledging that Sikhs have always come to the aid of the needy, regardless of their caste, ethnicity, or religion. I want to hear your views on the coming together of the Sikhs and Hindus in India and what we need to do to keep that momentum going. I want to congratulate Gary Ji for being at the forefront by providing the platform for communities to come together. We have just celebrated Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji's 400th anniversary. And you know what Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji said? Hark sog janke nahi bari meet saman, kaho nanak sun re mana, mukt tahe tejan. And let me translate it for you in English. Whoever is who's unwavering during sorrow and strife and treats the friends and foes with poise dwells in the state of nirvana, says Guru Nanak. Okay, so we want to start with that. And there's a lot more in Gurbani, but that's not what we're here for today. And I want to give a couple of examples here to stress the importance of dialogue. Number one, this is the history. For close to 40 years, Northern Ireland was torn apart by the violence to throw the English out of Northern Ireland. There were reports of shootings and bombings on a daily basis. You want to know the reason? I'll give you one. Because IRA stands for Irish Republican Army. IRA had a lot of support from abroad. Weapons and ammunition was smuggled into Ireland to keep the fight going. But you know, it was the people of Ireland that suffered. They suffered the bombings, they suffered the shootings. It wasn't the people, not the foreign supporters of the movement. No, they were just fine sending the bombs and sending the guns and sending the ammunitions. So I'm going to say what happens when you got the foreign support. Jerry Adams. I was there in England for all this time. Jerry Adams was the leader of the IRA, Irish Republican Army. It was during Reagan's time. He realized that enough is enough. And he sat down around the table with the British and negotiated a deal to put an end to the suffering of the Irish people. Northern Ireland now is a prosperous country. It's a beautiful country. If you ever get a chance to visit it, please visit. Second, I'm sure You've heard the news this week about the bombings in Israel, between Israel and Palestine.
Yes, yes.
It has been going on since the end of Second World War. Yasser Arafat died a few years ago. I think he was around the age of 55. He fought all his life. He died a few years ago, and there's still no end in sight. That is still going on. This week is probably the worst of all those years. Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, now even Lebanon have joined the unending conflict. Gentlemen, ladies, there have to be a better way to resolve conflicts. I feel that the leaders of Kisan movement have shown us the way, and the NRIs should accept the wishes of the Indian people and stop meddling in their political internal affairs. NRIs may have opposing political views, but that should not divide them as a community here, not in this country, in the United States or anywhere else in the world. There are a lot of Hindus and Sikh mixed marriages these days. What are we going to do? Are we going to keep the conflict going?
Not at all.
I don't think it's a good idea. I want to hear your views. And please, hear my request. Stay focused on the subject of the Hindu-Sikh unity, and also please abide by the time allocated so that everybody may have their say. So we have a lot to say. So please be brief so that everybody can say their word, say their piece. So I want to start by Vinodji. Please.
I appreciate you have given very depicted, very good examples. I fundamentally say on what basis we unite. I will like to say that when we talk of Hindu-Sikh unity, is it real or false? Because there is a basis of unity of different religions. So if we keep only Hindu-Sikh unity versus in India, then we are falling apart as a nation. Because in India, about 15% is a Muslim population. So if Hindus and Sikhs unite, we have to keep everybody together as a nation. Issues. Second point is issues. On what issues? Issues are very important. You will be united only if there are issues. I give a particular one example. In Punjab, there was an example that Akali Dal represent Sikhs, BJ represent Hindus, get together. They were together for 30 years. But when Kisan movement came out, they divided. So my question is, on what basis we unite with each other? It is the economic agenda of a country or the society will make them unite, whereas Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Christians, that is the fundamental question I have to pose to the panel.
Okay. Next, Sudarshan Kapoor ji.
Hanji, thank you very much, ji. Today's topic is very dear to my heart. For the last 50 years or so, I have been working here in Fresno in the Valley, building bridges between Hindus and Sikhs. There have been ups and downs, more downs actually at times. Some political figures also come into the picture that create some more problems. I'm very much concerned about the relationship between Hindus and Sikhs here in the United States. And whatever happens in India, I would like to see that they will take care of it over there. But those kinds of things probably should not, in my opinion, should not influence and affect our relationship here. Our children are born here, they are growing up here. Many of them are love to be here, and they are not going to go back. Why to create those kinds of things which unnecessarily create animosity? Now, I know in the schools, Hindu and Sikh children do not mix with each other.
Right.
That's a very unfortunate thing. They stay separately. And also on the Fresno State campus, I say Hindu students and the Sikh students, they stay separate. They do not actually intermingle. Why? Because some of these political things affect actually their mind, and there are some religious fanaticism also that comes into the picture. So I'm very much concerned to see what we can do to promote Hindu-Sikh relationships. As you also mentioned, Amrikji, that there are about 15 to 16% marriages in India takes due to take place between Hindus and Sikhs, and which still take place actually. Not too long ago, I attended a marriage here between Hindus and Sikhs also, and my son actually was there, and he asked me a question about that how this Hindu girl is getting married to a Sikh. So I told him that it happens all the time. Then this happened to be one of our relatives also. Then he asked me a question, if that is the kind of relationship that Hindus and Sikhs have had historically, how come they are fighting over there? How come they are killing each other over there? This was a time when a lot of riots were going on, a lot of bad things were going on over in India like that. So he asked me that question. So then I told him, you go and do the research about it. Why and what happened actually in the relationship between the two communities like that over there. So I would
Thank
like
you.
to say
Thank you,
that,
Kapoorji.
Anji, we do
Um,
something over here, how to promote the relationship. What is it that we can do to promote the relationship? I'm very much concerned about the younger generation growing up. I hope they grow up without any hatred and bitterness towards each other.
yeah. Thank you, Ji. Next one is Keshav Ji. Let me give you some information to start with. My daughter-in-law is a Patel.
Good.
So your 2 minutes start right now.
Okay. Then same way, let me say, two of our girls have married with a Sikh, and third one is going to marry.
Yep.
Same way, one of the boy has married to the Punjabi, means Sikh community.
I know.
So there is no, in reality, there is no difference at all. And nobody thinks that. But some people who are really selfish in some, or misguided by some, I don't know what are their beliefs, but they are misguided really. And that is why they are creating some problems. So we have to deal with those problems. Otherwise, there is a unity all the time. So unity is always necessary, not only between the two communities, means Sikh and Hindu. I am working for unity between Hindu, Sikh, Jain, and Buddha, all four our original religions, our Bharatiya religions. We have to come together, should get unite, and should work to preserve our original Sanatan Dharma Vedic principles, because our people are not disciplined, they don't take care themselves, they only think, oh, वो तो मोदी करेगा, वो तो गवर्नमेंट का काम है, हमारा तो कुछ काम ही नहीं है. Unless we decide ourselves, we do not take care of ourselves. How the government can help everything, and what the government is doing, but we have to also work in the same way. तो साथ में मिलकर काम करना वो सबसे जरूरी है. और इसमें हमारी यूनिटी हिंदू और सिख में तो होनी ही चाहिए. उसमें तो व्हाट आई यूज्ड टू से, Sikh community maybe after Guru Nanak Dev we have classified this Sikh community, but I believe Sikh community ये हमारे देश की एक बहादुर जनता है, बहादुर कम्युनिटी है, क्षत्रिय कम्युनिटी है, और उनके भरोसे हमारी आर्मी में more the percentage of Sikh communities are there, officer as well as soldiers. So we are proud of it, and we have to come together.
Okay,
We have
okay,
not
Keshav
to
ji,
deal.
आपका you have to. मैं आपको बता दूंगा, मेरे my son came home and told me this is the girl I love, I want to marry her, and I said, who is she? She said, Dad, I didn't ask her where she was from.
ये
Oh,
तो दिल
God.
की बात हुई ना.
Okay, Kamini ji, your 2 minutes, please.
Come.
Kamini ji.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I grew up in Kanpur and I lived in Delhi. I lived in Calcutta, and I'm here today. I had a very good experience with the Sikh community. And when my children ask what is a Sikh for Hindu, so I, the simple way I explain them, the way I understood, I said the Sikh Guru Nanak Ji and Nanak Dev and Gurgobind Singh was a Hindu also. But what he taught to the community, and that called a Sikh, Sikh means Shiksha. And that's what they're teaching what the people start following them, that's community become a Sikh. But they were a part of their gurus were Hindu. Hindu and Sikhs are not too many differences. Of course, their look, and then I explained in why the pagri was invented, why the Sikh Singh was the surname was given, why the Kaur was given.
Have somebody
So then
mute,
they
please,
understood
somebody.
very well for that. And here I have worked a lot of Sikh community, and they just love me like anything. Whenever I go for something there, they will say, no, Kamji, you cannot go without eating. And I am working in the community, and always people send their children to play the drum. They will come and do the gidda. They do come for bhangra. So I don't see any animosity in this area between Sikh and Hindu. And India also, and the Kanpur is full of Sikh people. They were business people, and I didn't find any problem. Only due to political reason, there was some problem in the society, but the Hindus protected the Sikh at that time. My nephew has a best friend, a Sikh. So he put that people in their home for 10 days. So for me, I had a very good experience with the Sikh community. And my professor was Sikh. And when your time allows, I will tell you the story also. So I don't see any problem or any problem in the community between Sikh and Hindu, in my judgment, what my experience is. For 30 years, and I know many Sikh doctors, many Sikh 7-Eleven people, subway people, because I was in insurance business, so I know a lot of people, and I thought they had a lot of respect for me. They wanted to do the business with me, not that hey, I'm Hindu, they don't want to do any business with me. They trusted me, so I really appreciate that.
Thank you, Ji.
I
Thank you.
don't see any problem.
Jo
Thank you.
Sandhu Ji, your 2 minutes start, please.
Yes, thank you. Sadhu Sahab, I know a long time ago when I was in India, Nehru used to say Hindu Sikh bhai bhai. But, that logo was working at the time. We did not have no conflict. I don't think we ever fought or any argued with the Hindu community. They are one community which were part of us. And the Sikhs always stood for the defense of Hindus in Mughal era. Okay? Every religion have good things to learn. If you read Bible, you read, you read Guru Granth Sahib, you read, Hindu, but they all have positive things. Nobody says anybody is bad. It depends what karma and dharma does. Whoever does good karmas, that his personality or her personality is known. But most of the people don't write their, do their responsibility they are capable of doing. And some of the egoistic people, they won't let us get together. We want educated people, want Hindu and Sikh work together. Here in America, they are working together, no problem. Only problem it comes back there, it starts from leadership, I would say.
Yeah.
Not from a home level, it starts from leadership. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Now, two minutes for Uday Kapoor Ji.
Thank you, Ji. Satyakar. Where should I start? I've been in this country for 54 years. I grew up in Amritsar. My pind is Amritsar. And like Dr. Anand, I discovered that he also grew up in Amritsar. So for me, Sikh religion was like part of my life. I used to go to the Darbar Sahib when there were hardly any people there to take matha take and all that. And it was the most painful experience for me. ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਮੈਂ Silicon Valley ਚ ਆਇਆ ਸੀ 54 years ago. And I've been here ever since, except for a couple of years in Germany. And to see the disaster that happened with the terrorism in Punjab and all of the things that happened, I took my son to Amritsar to show him my school, which is called Ram Ashram, which is across from Sansing Sukha Singh School, which is a Sikh school, and this is a Hindu school. But we had about probably a quarter of the people were Sikh students, even in Ram Ashram. So there was no distinction. I mean, I have friends here, I have colleagues. I'm an IIT graduate, and there is no distinction of, I mean, we never talk about difference in religion because we always respected each other. And as was said earlier, marriages, and that still happened in our family too. There are a lot of Sikhs were married in different cousins. So seeing some of the venom that has been caused, I think I also agree with you that a lot of the influences from abroad that affected the people in India, that has been a problem. I would say in Canada and California have dominated that. I have a lot of relatives in Canada and they see what is happening in Canada. So it is very painful. All that we should care about is love and caring for each other, and not the fundamentalism of any religion, whether it is Hinduism or Sikhism.
How about Arjun Saabji?
Yeah, it's a very good topic. But my question is, why not the unity of all the religions? It should have included Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, Jains, and Balmikis, all of them. So my first suggestion is the unity of all the religions. In the present context, I tell you, the scientific findings say that there should be only one religion in the world, and that is the religion of humanity. As you have said, that Guru Gobind Singh said, Mans ki jaat sab eke pehchan bo. That should be. The second thing is that why Hindus and Muslims, Sikhs, they are divided. It is due to the fanaticism of the religious and political leader. And they will keep dividing them, and they have been dividing them, all the religion, from time immemorial. The third thing, the last thing, that how to stop it. There are three methods. Number one, all the educated people, they say, Angel, he said, that there are three basic things to stop this, to create a religion of humanity. Those three are: number one, education; number two, education; number three, education. You give education, this elementary, secondary, and higher education to your children, and you will see that within one or two generations, this bad thing will be gone. There will be no religious discrimination. Thank you.
Thank you, Ji, for finishing on time. You put the finger right on the nail. You nailed this topic, and that's what we need to do. Don't let these politicians divide us. Thank you very much. The next 2 minutes, please, Dr. Anand Sahib Ji.
problem.
Good.
Basically, just a quick background about myself. I trained in medical college in India, in Indore. I lived in Amritsar, Calcutta, Indore, Ludhiana, and basically came to England as a Rhodes Scholar at Oxford University. And then I got a postdoctoral fellowship at Harvard Medical School, where I did my, medical training and all that. I've been at Stanford for the last 6 years. My focus has been pretty much underserved populations. I spent 23 years in the Deep South taking care of children. I'm an ICU doctor. I still practice taking care of critically ill children. And at Stanford for the last 6 years, we have held an Ideal Village conference where we are bringing together people to find out solutions for the rural poor. I am most concerned that in this political battle of resources and parties and divisions, that the poorest of the poor who live in villages in India are being ignored and denied their due process. Even now, as we battle the COVID-19 crisis, the vast majority of people who are dying from COVID are in the villages, but they don't get access to medical care or even proper health care. I feel that the entire focus of news reporters is on the urban areas and so on. And that's why I feel that we, as the diaspora living across the entire world, should help and reach out to the poor people in the villages. As far as Hindu and Sikh community is concerned, my father's brother was Kirat Ram. My father, his father was Sundar Chand. He in the old days, that was the common principle, that one son from the family would become a Sikh. The rest were Hindus. And so there is no distinction. All of the conceptual things that are followed in the Sanatan Dharma are encapsulated and described beautifully in the Guru's relationships. I have grown, I can read Sanskrit and understand Sanskrit. I can chant Vedas and I can perform. Last year in my house, we performed 6 yagnas because nobody else had, the space in the backyard to do this. So there is no distinction. Yet we have participated. I have Chakod Amrit, and I read the Guru Granth Sahib, and I participate in Akhand Path Sahib. There is no distinction between Hindus or Sikhs, or even Muslims or Christians or anybody, because we are all, you see, we identify with this name and form and so on. But what the thing that we cannot figure out is whose blood group is what. If you get sick and come to surgery for heart surgery to my hospital, the blood of a Sikh may not save you, but the blood of an African American man can save you. Why? Because you have the same blood group. So it doesn't matter. If we could tell whose blood group is what, then there would be a religion for type A and type B and AB. There would be a religion. This is all very superficial and petty mindedness, and we should not get stuck in this at all. Let us widen our hearts, reach out in generosity, embrace each other as brothers and sisters, and promote love, promote understanding and compassion. This is what I practice every day in my duty in my hospital, and this is what I practice in my personal life as well. Thank you for your help.
Thank you, Dr. Anandji. Now I would ask Baljinder Sidhuji for his comments on the subject.
I look at it this is on 2 levels. Number 1 is the personal level. On a personal level, we have all friends all across different religions, and like particularly between Hindu and Sikhs, there is a very strong bond between on a personal levels. I give you an example. I gave my power of attorney to my Brahmin friend in the village. So he takes care of my business when I'm away. So we trust so much each other. I have many other friends, you know. I worked with Gujarati friend for 18 years and he always gave me advice. So the thing is on a personal level, we have good understanding and good situation. But when it comes to political level, the problem comes what the politicians make statements. They, whatever they say is picked up by some people. Not everybody's understanding is the same. Some people take that what they say is the truth. Others will look at it and saying, hey, you know, all politicians talk garbage, so let's ignore it. So let me go back a little bit. For all these hundreds of years, actually Sikhs and Hindus are not separable. They have so much common in the religion, in the culture, in living, in every way, social life. So they are practically not separable. What happens is when one leader makes the statement, then a lot of those who becomes his followers start to look at the other group as the enemy. So I think the problem is the political leadership. We have to take this responsibility onto ourselves. I'm very, very open wherever I go to a meeting or something, if somebody making a statement about the other side, I say, no, I think this is wrong. We need to remain non-political if possible, because that's causing a lot of problems. Thank you.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you, everybody, for your views. This was the first round, so everybody now gets to kind of sum up for whatever they've heard from each other.
Yes.
Okay.
You're the main host.
Okay. Actually, I'm not a Republican. I am Democrat. I'm not a Akali Dal. I'm not a BJP, most probably. But I like a lot of people there too. They are good friend of mine. Politics is the problem now. I have to be very careful. We as a NRI, we can help in this matter. Okay. I meet every seniors in here also. Question comes when Kisan movement came, after that, a lot of people not taking my telephone even started stopping it. I was shocked to see it. They are so divided, like politically bounded each other. They just love leader. Just like some people like Badal, some like a captain, some like Modi. They never think about their country. They never think who is creating jobs. They never think who bring our community together. And they never thought about how we have to live together. We are living in the United States. In India, Muslim people have to live. Hindus have to live. Sikh people have to live. Scheduled caste have to live. We are divided so much for that. Politician, you have to stop them. And you as a NRA good leader, you have to get together like we are talking now. Thank you, sir.